Come have fun with us and don't forget to subscribe.
What's up, everybody? I'm Rick,
And I'm Anna.
and welcome to our review of the 1938 movie Jezebel. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is our bucket list channel, a channel in which we try to realize the goals and dreams that are on our bucket list. One of those goals is for us to watch every movie that was nominated for Best Picture at the Academy Award from 1927 to 2028. As of now, we've watched 94 movies on that list, and the latest of which is the movie we're going to be talking about today, Jezebel. Based on the 1933 play by Owen Davis, Jezebel was released on March 26, 1938. This Warner Brothers film tells the story of a free-spirited Southern belle in 1850s Louisiana who loses her fiancé due to her stubborn vanity and pride and vows to win him back. Vanity and pride is one way to call it, huh?
Yeah, I would call it an extremely spoiled brat.
Yeah.
But okay.
So, Anna, what did you think of this movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it?
I think that there are certain elements that I definitely enjoyed and found interesting, and others that I found kind of not so good, not so interesting, let's say.
The main actress, Bette Davis, this is her movie.
Yeah, definitely.
It is her. She's the only thing that anchors this movie. Her performance is like outstanding. Her character is hittable, but you're supposed to hate her. Seeing her throughout the movie is really entertaining, even when she's, plotting and then regretting her plotting and all the twists and turns that you go through with her. But other than her, everybody else, like the other characters, are kind of just like salad dressing. They're just there, to serve the purpose of her story. And certain elements from the movie like kind of irked me the wrong way, like all the slaves being shown being happy go willy, like
and singing.
Singing in the plantation and be like, hey, good old master, can I bring you some tea? I was kind of turned off by that whole part. So yeah, to me this is a movie in two parts, right? This is the movie of Bette Davis, who is wonderful in it and who has a very interesting arc, and it's everything else that I'm kind of
like mashes together and you don't really pay attention to it.
This movie, a lot of it happens in 1850s Louisiana, before the Civil War, which why I was talking about the slaves. We see a lot of people there. They're never referred to as slaves, they're help, but from the time period, from the places they are in, and they have some discussions during the dinner about like abolition and the movements in the north,
but they never specify it.
Yeah,
like they never say slavery. They never,
and they're never too like harsh about it, right?
Yeah.
When Henry Fonda's character comes to dinner like with his new wife from the north, and he's talking about like, that machines and the new economy is gonna render all this unskilled labor, not necessary and ineffective, really. And then everybody else, like the southern people at the table, oh no, this is our southern traditions, how dare you come here with your machines, cotton is king.
So they're saying that slavery is their southern tradition.
I mean, a lot of things were southern tradition in the movie, right, that they defend, even their dueling and but anyway, like cotton is king, blah 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 blah. And so what I wanted to get at is that even this character, who is for abolition, talking about the fact that we don't need the slaves anymore, he's talking about it in a economic sense.
Right.
The future is not slavery because we're gonna make way more money with industries. It's not talking about the human
component of it.
Yeah, the whole movie in that sense, like that aspect of the movie. And I feel like we're gonna have a similar discussion when we get to 1939 about another movie that is very similar in a lot of ways to this movie, actually.
It is, yes, it's true. I have seen...
We're talking about Gone with the Wind.
About Gone with the Wind. I have seen that movie before. It did give me a similar vibe, but we'll talk more about it.
Yeah, when we get there. But yeah, that's the slavery component, but also 1850s Louisiana is the yellow fever, which is a big plot point in the movie. And I had some information just because I thought it was interesting, because we're filming this in 2020. We all know what's happening, the pandemic. Watching this movie and watching them like get freaked out and talking about quarantine and stuff like that, thought it was interesting to pull some information about what happened in 1853. So the 1853 outbreak of yellow fever claimed the life of 7,800 people in the city of New Orleans. The press and medical professionals did not alert the citizens of the outbreak until the middle of July, after more than 1,000 people had already died. They were trying to keep it quiet because the New Orleans business community feared that the word of an epidemic would cause the city to be placed under quarantine, which would then hurt their trade and their businesses. Lots of similarity to what we're saying today.
Is
right?
it? Because
Yeah.
I think...
I mean, we've been placed in quarantine
Yeah.
for most of the year, but
but
you hear those
a lot of
arguments. Yeah.
right, are similar.
regardless of real life. The yellow fever is a big part of the movie. What did you think of that component into the storyline, right? Has a big influence, especially towards the end. But do you feel like it comes a bit out of nowhere? They don't talk about it until...
Yeah, I feel like the discussion comes a little bit out of nowhere, but the way they played it into the movie seemed pretty like well done to me, you know? Especially because at the end, like, it's kind of this thing that's happening in the background of everything else for most of the movie until at the end when one of the main characters gets infected. And I thought that it was very interesting that they did it. I feel like they did it to introduce that idea of we can have different rules for the rich people. And so they sent him to
the island to be quarantined.
To the quarantine zone. So I feel like really for the story of the movie, that was the whole purpose of introducing the element of the yellow fever. Other than the fact that it was actually there. So if you want to make a movie placed in that place and time, then...
Yeah, you need to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say it came out of nowhere because there is a time skip. And then after the time skip, they start talking about it little by little, right? That's why one of our main characters come back. Someone he knows is sick and stuff like that. So like you said, it is in the background until it hits our main characters who are like directly affected by it. But it also serves as the main reason why Davis's character has redemption? Question mark?
Yeah. I don't know.
What do you think of that? Like,
I don't see it as redemption,
when
frankly.
she goes to the island with him.
I kind of saw it more as, in the end, she won.
Because she pushes for not his wife, but her to go to the island with him, right?
And she has good arguments, mind you, you know?
Yeah, like...
She does make a good point out of saying, if he does make it out alive, I'm the one who would give him a better chance. Like, his wife was from the north. She didn't know the people. She didn't know how to...
The
like,
customs, the place,
she didn't know how to communicate with the people there. It would be like a locked up place, area, whatever, with mostly commoners, also sick commoners. Like, how would she get those people to help her husband or, you know, get any help from anyone there? Whereas Julie, the main female character, would have had the necessary skills, you know, so it makes sense. But at the same time, that scene at the very end when she's in the carriage being taken to the quarantine zone, like the way she carries herself, I don't know, there's something about it that makes me feel like, no, in the end he's mine.
Yeah, but also it harks back to one of the things she said earlier when she discovered that this guy that she used to love, right, has a wife now. Used to love, she still loves him, but he used to go out with, used to be engaged to, has a wife now. And she says, if I can't have him,
no one else will.
No one else will. And so in my head, when she says, like, I can go there and helping have the best chance of surviving, I can't be 100% certain that she's not just gonna let him die or, you know, not help him in a way that she said she would.
Even just thinking that he doesn't actually stand a chance, but at least I will be here.
At least I will die with him.
I will be there by him. Yeah.
We're together in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah. Her characters flip-flop all the time, right? Because she goes to him when he's sick and she's super sad about it. And then she's, you know, she gets pity when the wife comes. And so that's part of the character. Like, some might see it as a contradiction, but it's just...
But I feel like that makes for a very realistic character. You
Exactly.
know? No one is black and white. Nobody is just good or bad.
Like
everybody has emotions.
Towards the middle of the movie, when she tries to pit one of the guys against her ex-fiance, and then it turns out badly, and it's the brother instead who's pitted against the guy. She feels bad about it, and then she tries to rationalize it or try to forget about it the next day. Right? She always flips between these moves because. In the end, she's a very selfish character, and it's always about herself. And if I have to lie to myself to feel good about what I did, I will. You talked about the end there. The movie kind of just ends.
Yeah, you don't know what really happens in
Yeah,
the end.
they're in
And
the cart on the way to the island, and then it's over.
that's what I was saying. I feel like if it was at the end there a story of redemption for Julie, I feel like we would have seen it, but we didn't. Like we didn't see
Yeah.
what actually happens. It kind of leaves you wondering. Like you kind of guess that in the end they probably both die. You don't know for sure. You don't know, like if, like you said, if in the end she did actually get that kind of redemption that she said she wanted.
And maybe it's on well, it's definitely on purpose. That's how the movie is made, but to make the audience have to feel it out themselves, right?
Yeah.
If you want her to have the redemption, you'll go towards that route, and if you don't, then you'll think, well, maybe they both died. Maybe she did it just to get back at the wife one last time. Like, you can fill in the blank yourself.
Yeah.
We've been talking a lot about the characters in this movie, so let's take a look at the cast and crew who plays those characters. First of all, we have the director, William Wyler, who we will remember from Dodsworth and Dead End. And then we talked about her a lot, Bette Davis as Julie Marsden. What is interesting, we mentioned Gone with the Wind a little bit there. According to the Turner Classic Movie Database, this role was offered to Davis as compensation because she failed to get the part of Scarlett O'Hara and Gone with the Wind.
That's interesting. Like, from the movies, the actresses that we've encountered so far, this is the second one that we hear of who might or might not have
been shortlisted for that role. Yeah. But here she has a very similar role, which in the end went well for her because we liked her performance, we liked her character.
Definitely.
And the Academy did too. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress that year.
Yeah, I agree with that. A very convincing performance.
And again, you don't like her, but that's the point, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, she's not a likable character, but she makes you not like her with all your heart throughout the movie.
She plays it wonderfully.
Yeah.
Also stars Henry Fonda as Preston Dillard. We haven't seen Henry Fonda yet, but I was surprised to see his name so early on. I only know Henry Fonda because of his kids, of course.
Yeah, it's a name that I've heard of.
What did you think of him? He's kind of very present in the first 2/3 of the movie, and then of course he's sick, so we don't see him anymore. Well, we see him, but he doesn't talk anymore. What were your thoughts on his performance?
Well, his performance, I think, was good, but I feel like the character that he was given in this particular story, I feel like the character was not strong enough to counterbalance the main female character.
Preston?
Yes.
I think the only time he was during that ball scene.
Yeah, that ball scene was the only time when you could feel that he held his ground completely kind of against her. Because if you think about it, after he leaves, he comes back with his wife. He should have this position of defiance, towards his former fiancé. But you don't feel it. The former fiancée, Julie, she feels rejected. She feels kind of defeated. She feels like she needs to win him back or do something about it. But from his side, you don't feel like he's above her position.
At first, it feels like he pities her, because she basically throws herself at him, right?
Yeah.
When he comes back, like, I'm sorry, take me back, blah, blah, blah.
Look, I'm wearing the white dress.
Yeah, exactly. Then he's like, no, I have a wife. And so at first you think he pities her. And then when she does all this thing, like egg on Buck during the dinner scene, then you kind of feel like he's starting to get annoyed at her. And then he leaves. So we never really get, like you said, the finality of like their encounter.
Their confrontation. Yeah. I feel like the actor did a really good job, performance-wise. But I feel like the character could have been better developed.
So we just talked about him. Buck Cantrell here is played by George Brent. We'll remember him from 42nd Street. What did you think of this character?
I don't have any opinion of him whatsoever.
Much to say. Right.
We do see him like in 2 or 3 scenes all together. I feel like he's kind of there. I feel like it could have been anyone. Yeah. Like definitely. This character doesn't have he doesn't have anything that makes him stand out. Oh, it's this character because of that. Like, no, it's just a guy because they need a guy to be there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with that. Running up our cast is Margaret Lindsay as Amy Bradford Dillard, that we saw in Cavalcade 2. She's the wife. And Faye Benter as Aunt Belle Macy, Aunt Belle, by the way, Faye Benter, received the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. Not that present in the movie, so I was a bit surprised.
Yeah, it's true. It's not only that she's not that present, because we've seen cameos being offered to
Characters who are barely there, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not
Famously,
like she was...
Anne Hathaway for 15 minutes in the movie, right?
But it's not even like that one scene, important scene where she was there, that she really shined in, you know? I can't really...
Yeah.
Again, she was kind of
she was just there, and she did her job as she should have. But there was nothing wrong with her performance, but nothing outstanding either that you would think, best supporting actress right there. So we already talked about the 2 of the awards. Let's look at some others, because this movie was nominated for 5 Academy Awards. Best Picture, of course, that's why we watched it. Best Actress, Bette Davis, that she won. Best Supporting Actress, Faye Benter won. Best Scoring, Max Steiner. And Best Cinematography, Ernest Haller. So 2 awards out of 5 nominations. So, Anna, is there anything else before we get to the ranking that we haven't mentioned about this movie that you'd like to talk about?
I feel like I would like to talk some more about that scene, the ball scene, or right before and during the ball scene, because I feel like it's a very important scene for the whole movie, right? It's placed like pretty much in the beginning of the movie, but I feel like it drives everything that happens afterwards. And I feel like it really outlines the main female character, Julie, exactly for who she is. We understand right away, like from that scene, we understand who she is. And I thought it was very interesting.
Definitely, these first few scenes are a perfect way to showcase the character and all her flaws, but also all the flip-flops, right? Because we said that's an important element of her character, is that she's a brat. She's basically a brat. And so she does something defiant just because she wants to be defiant, just because she wants to have the last word. But when it turns out wrong, she doesn't stand by her conviction, right? She flips up right away. She's like, no, okay, let's leave the ball. I'm ashamed of my red dress now.
I actually also mentioned that right before that, the ball scene, when she does decide to go with the red dress. That I found this very interesting because of the one thing that she says there. She says, it's 1852. A girl can wear a red dress before being married. Something like this. I would have liked to see that more in her character, frankly. That conviction that she's an independent woman. She was an heiress. She was the one mistress of the house and the plantation. Her aunt and uncle were not the ones, the owners. The owners. It was her. So she's a young female in a position of power, So to see her actually
wealthy.
Exactly. So to see her actually standing by her idea that no, I don't need to obey society rules. If I want to wear a red dress, I will. Would have been interesting in my opinion.
But that's not what she was doing.
But that's not what she was doing. She was just being defiant for the sake of it. And then when people started staring at her, she was...
Yeah, because he didn't want to come try the dress with her.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I'll show him and wear a red dress.
Yeah, exactly.
So would you recommend this movie?
If I were to have seen this movie first, I would say yes, definitely. Knowing what comes up next year, a movie with very similar setting, very similar plot, and kind of similar main character too, I would say, sure, watch it if you want to, but there's better.
So, of course, you're talking about, again,
Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind, yes.
Yeah. I think this movie, for Bette Davis's performance stands out in that sense. But also, most of the movie, I was very annoyed with the treatment of slavery, because they purposefully tried to portray it as something that wasn't that bad, right?
Yeah.
All the slaves are very happy to be there, singing with the masters, and there's no problem. That was very annoying to me throughout the movie, and for that reason, I can't really recommend it. So yeah, I guess let's move on to our ranking now.
Yeah.
Now, for every year of the Academy Award, we rank the movies that were nominated for that year. Right now, we're doing the 1938 Academy Award, the 11th one. The list as of now is number 6, The Citadel. Number 5, Four Daughters. Number 4, Boys Town. Number 3, The Adventures of Robin Hood. Number 2, Alexander's Ragtime Band. And number 1, La Grande Illusion. So where would you put Jezebel?
I think, but I'm open to suggestions. I would put it at number 4.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay.
And you know, this is also a difficult one, right? Where you try to mix different elements of the movie, and sometimes one element, like I was saying a few minutes ago, you know, the treatment of slavery was really annoying throughout, but other parts of the movie are
Much better.
much better. And so it reminded me of, you know, all those debates we had about the Good Earth,
Yeah.
right? And the whitewashing in
Yeah,
that movie.
true.
But the rest of the movie, right, the cinematography, the story were excellent. And so you try to rationalize all of these elements. And which is why I think that story-wise, performance-wise, this is probably better than Robin Hood, right? As a whole,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
the
put
issue that it has
yeah.
kind of drags it down.
Exactly.
I agree.
And so, yeah, I would
I feel
agree
like
that-
also this movie stands on the shoulders of its main character.
Yeah,
Sometimes you kind of feel it, even if the main character is great and her story and her, arc in the movie is great. You kind of feel when the rest of the movie doesn't really bring something to support her, but rather, stands on her shoulders, like I said.
exactly. We went through all of a lot of our main characters, and two of them, you're like, yeah, they kind of are just there, right?
Yeah.
So we'll agree to put it at number 4, which makes our new list. Number 7, The Citadel. Number 6, Four Daughters. Number 5, Boys Town. Number 4, Jezebel. Number 3, The Adventures of Robin Hood. Number 2, Alexander's Ragtime Band. And number 1, La Grande Illusion. And so that is it for our review of the 1938 movie Jezebel. If you yourself have seen the movie and want to let us know what you think of it, let us know in the comment section below. Like this video if you did. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And don't forget that if you yourself have a goal or a dream that you'd like to realize, just like Julie when she wanted to tear down that poor man's marriage,
Oh.
take that first step.